Hello, random people of the internet. This is my dad's podcast for SnowRunner. Say hi.
Hello.
So, we're going to talk about a few things. We both love SnowRunner, and so let's talk about hard mode, the newest thing that is in SnowRunner. Now, I like the hard mode just mostly in general. I just think it's a good thing for it. I think it's a thing, well, a breath of fresh air for SnowRunner.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the thing about SnowRunner is it actually make you a better player. Because
It will.
You have to rely, you can't really afford to sell the starter trucks and buy other trucks, so you have to stick with the starter trucks. And the same goes with upgrades and that. You can't buy and sell those. You have to plan out your route. You have to think ahead. You have to plan like 5 steps ahead what you're going to do before you actually start the truck and start moving.
That you have to do a lot more than you used to do. Used to, you can just go and not really have to care.
Well, yeah, you could drive around randomly looking for tasks to do, and if you just wanted to play, you could drive around just to play with your truck, to see what it's capable of, to find new routes. But you can't do that in hard mode. Once you start the truck in hard mode, you have to be on mission. Okay, I'm going to go to this watchtower. I'm going to get this upgrade. I'm going to load this, whichever freight it is, be it service parts or logs. You have to know what you're going to do before you start the truck.
Oh, yeah. A very good thing to do that I always do, and you probably do too, is plan out. When you plan the things out, it's like, okay, I can accomplish this here, and then accomplish this right next to it. Get the multiple things done, so you use as little food as you can.
Yeah,
I do that a lot.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Plan 5 steps ahead. I'm going to.
Oh, yeah.
When I leave the garage in hard mode, okay, when you start a new game in hard mode,
you get that Chevy. You just have the Chevy.
You have the Chevy pickup truck. You're at level 2. You have a limited amount of cash. You have like $8,000 and some dollars because
I think it's like 8,500.
Something like that. Yeah, roughly
something like that.
You can't. In hard mode, you can't spend your money. You have to conserve everything. What I like to say is do more with less. That's kind of that's a life lesson. Do more with less. But as soon as you leave the garage, you have the Chevy. You want other trucks, so the Fleet Star's right outside the garage.
But you have to repair it, so you're gonna have to go get the GMC. But yeah, you're gonna use that a lot.
Yeah, as soon as you get out the garage, you start working.
Yeah.
You repair the Fleet Star. Once you get that repaired, what I like to do is transfer the fuel from the Chevy into the Fleet Star, hook the Fleet Star up to that curtain side trailer that goes to the farm.
Go to the farm.
The farming tools, that's your first contract.
Deliver it there, then go grab the fuel tanker, right?
Well, I tow the pickup truck behind the Fleet Star, behind that curtain side trailer, and take it over. If you want to, you can go over and get the raised suspension for the GMC, or you can just stay on the main road going towards the farm. You're doing multiple tasks at one time, so you can serve your fuel that way. You take that trailer over there to where that fuel tanker is in that little trailer park. Activate the place behind the spruces task. Refuel your Chevy pickup. Refuel the Fleet Star. You can leave the Fleet Star there and take the Chevy up to the watchtower and do the place behind the spruces. That gets you a little bit of XP. That gets you a little bit of money. And then you could drive the Chevy back down to the Fleet Star.
Or just leave it there until you need it again.
Well, no, I don't want to leave it there. I want to tow it to the next location. So I'm going to I'm going to switch back into the Fleet Star, winch the Chevy, hook it up to the winch, continue on down the road. What's the next?
Like right around the the farms, the watchtower by the farm, or the one that's the other direction.
I'll go to the next watchtower. It's on the left over there in the swamp.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one by the farm, yeah.
Well, not the one by the farm, the one to the west of the map. If you stay on the main road towards town.
I know which one you're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, there's one over there in the swamp. It's a little bit difficult to get to with a pickup truck, but you have to winch, but you can get the pickup truck there. But
yeah,
if you're accomplishing multiple tasks at once, you're
doing pretty good if you're doing that.
Yeah, you take that curtain side trailer to the farm, you deliver it. Now you got a little more money, a little more XP. Continue down the road, winch the pickup truck behind you. Stop at the intersection, switch into the pickup truck, drive it over to that watchtower. Hit that watchtower. Now you got a little more XP.
Mm-hmm.
Drive back to the Fleet Star. Switch trucks again. At that point, winch the pickup truck behind you. Now you want to go to get. Well, you can do two things. You can go up to the main intersection, switch back into the Chevy, turn left, and go over to where the original start point is. If you're starting in easy mode, there's another watchtower up there. You can get that watchtower, and if you continue on up that road up towards the windmill, that's where your race suspension is. Isn't that what that is? The race suspension for the pickup truck?
Yeah, the race suspension for the pickup truck and the engine for it are both by the town up one of those cliffs. They both are up there.
Yeah, the race suspension is right there by the windmill. You can get that one. Then you can continue on with the pickup truck, get the custom engine for the pickup truck.
The V8 engine for it, yeah.
Yeah, the most powerful engine for the pickup truck. And then you can continue on up along the edge of the map there and get to Riverside Repair. You can activate that. And then continue.
Then go get the Scout.
Continue up the hill with the pickup truck. You get the Scout.
Scout 800 to be specific.
Scout, the International Scout 800. Tow that.
Be specific.
Tow that back. Yeah, tow that back down the hill. As you're headed back towards town, there's another watchtower there.
You're gonna grab that, yeah.
Open that watchtower. When you do open that watchtower, you can go out, go into it, open the watchtower, but come back out the same way you came. Because if you try to go towards the main road into town, you're going to get stuck.
That roadblock? Oh.
No, not the roadblock. You're going to get stuck in that swampy area right there because those trucks won't work.
Oh, yeah.
So go back.
Well, that's because you use highway tires with it instead of upgrading them.
Well,
that's something we should say clearly.
Well, yeah.
You use highway tires for quite a while.
You're at level 2. You only have highway tires. Well, you can put the all-terrain tires on there, but
on the Scout you can, yeah.
Hard mode, do not spend your money. Don't spend your money. Do more with less. Keep the equipment that you start with. So get that watchtower, go back to the back road, and take the back road back past the old house where you got the engine upgrade for the pickup truck, and go back into town that way.
It's an easier route, and you'll have less stuff to deal with.
Yeah, so where are we at now? You can go back. You need to get the GMC so we can switch back into the Fleet Star, go over to the GMC, find that. At this point, you need to get yourself back to the garage because we want to reconfigure these trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
You should say like how you would repair the repair the Fleet Star, because you didn't say anything about that, but how you would do that is you can either pull the Fleet Star with... You can pull the Fleet Star with a Chevy, surprisingly. You can pull that Fleet Star to that service spare, that service trailer that's right next to the garage. You can pull it that way. You can pull the trailer next to the truck. Either way. That's something he forgot to say, but that's something you can very easily do.
Yeah, that's back. Is you know, as soon as you exit the garage, you're going to repair the Fleet Star.
In some way, shape, or form. You just have to connect the Fleet Star to that trailer somehow. It's not too difficult.
No, it's not. What I do there is I hook the winch onto the Fleet Star, tow it into the entrance to the garage.
Exactly.
Drop there, go back. Well, you get the all-wheel drive upgrade is for it right there in front of the truck. So you grab that. You winch the truck just a little bit to get it inside the yellow box of the garage. Go back and get the service trailer, tow it over to where you can connect it to the Fleet Star with the Chevy. It's really easy to do. You just got to get close enough to be able to hook it up.
Oh yeah, it's very simple.
It is. The Fleet Star won't run. It has no fuel.
It won't do anything.
Absolutely. But you can attach the trailer to it.
Exactly. You just have to attach your trailer to it, then it'll repair itself.
Yeah, so you repair it and then switch the fuel into it, and then go back to what I just said about all that other stuff. And so now we're back to getting the GMC.
Now, I want to be a contradictory thing for what you do, because we both play differently.
Yes, that we do.
That's what it says.
Yeah, we do.
We both play very differently. You stick to highway tires for a very, very long time.
Yes.
I personally will upgrade to all-terrain tires, and I will wait until I get chain tires.
Yeah.
Now, I wait to chain tires because obviously chain tires you're going to use a lot through the other maps with Alaska and Murata and all the other maps. And if you're going to use American trucks for quite a while, since we both do that, we both love using American trucks. It's a good chunk of the game.
Yeah.
So, chain tires are the best things to get for pretty much every American truck, since they're pretty much off-road things with and you do ice, which is pretty realistic. They should be better in mud, though. We both say that, though. For chain tires, they should both be better in mud, but game mechanics, right?
Well, yeah, that's game mechanics, but that's an issue with the developers there, so we can't control that. We just have to use it.
Nah.
But, yeah, chain tires are excellent either in mud or on the icy roads.
Well, chain tires in real life are just amazing. And studded tires, too.
Yeah, studded tires. Yeah, chain tires are just really good. I mean, obviously you don't want to use them on dry pavement or anything like that, but...
Oh, no, in real life.
In real life, yeah, no. In the game, yeah,
if you can't tell, both of us know how to do off-road things in real life. We do and have done a lot.
Well, yeah, we have. If we want to talk about us personally... I started building off-road vehicles when I was 15 years old. My family owned a fabrication.
Wasn't it that?
We had a welding fabrication shop. So I started building things when I was like 15 years old. I built they have racing lawnmower or garden tractors. I actually built one of the first things I ever built was a lawn tractor, garden tractor into a racing garden tractor.
Oh, those little lawnmower tractor racing thingies. Those things are awesome.
You make it into like a go-kart. I built one of those when I was like 15 years old. I've built hardcore 4x4 off-road vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So I have experience with the actual fabrication of them, driving them off-road.
Then I had the experience. I mostly had the experience of just driving like just a regular tractor off road or a truck off road.
Well, yeah.
That's what I have a lot of experience with.
Yes.
Now we built that engine out of that old red truck. We both did that, so we're both very mechanically inclined.
Well, yeah, we built the engine in the red truck. We used it for out in the woods, hauling firewood out in the woods.
Oh yeah.
And out in the fields in the snow. And hauling, we used it on the farm for doing farm work, and that could get kind of muddy and snowy, so we had to put chains on that to do the work around the farm. So yeah, we have a lot of off-road experience.
And the red truck I was talking about, that thing has highway tires on it, and then when we put chains on it, it pretty much turns into mud tires.
Yeah, it's an old 77 Ford pickup truck, which would be similar to some of the stuff actually in the game. It was four-wheel drive, not full-time four-wheel drive. It didn't have a diff lock in it, but
no, it doesn't have that. But four-wheel drive matters a lot more, mostly for littler trucks. It mostly matters more about the all-wheel drive than it does diff lock.
Yeah, that truck was excellent. We had a lot of fun with that truck, and we did a lot of work with that truck.
We turned it to a 1 carburetor to a 3 carburetor.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, you're right. That truck has highway tires on it, so when we needed to use it on the farm, out in the mud and stuff, we put chains on it, and it would go anywhere and everywhere.
But that's just real world versus off-road. But chain tires are a good thing to shoot for in the game. I will upgrade to all-terrain tires, but that's a personal thing. I upgrade to all-terrain tires because I've done pretty much that entire game with all-terrain tires.
Well, yeah, exactly. You have.
I've learned to use them very well.
I know you have. You did. You did.
All the way. I've done up to Imrata not highway tires, with all-terrain tires.
Yeah, you did Imrata with the all-terrain tires. That map is just.
That map sucks.
I hate that map. Every time I go to Imrata, I want to strangle the game developers. I hate that map. I hate it. I despise it. But
it's flippy, there's mud and snow, the roads aren't clear, that map just sucks.
Every 5 seconds you flip the truck over and you have to rescue it, and it's horrible. It is horrible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the tires in this hardcore mode do more with less. Do not spend money on anything. There's a few things you have to spend money on, okay?
A crane.
You need
the logging equipment.
Yeah, you need the mini loading crane because it costs money to load. What is it, 150?
It's 150. It's 150 per thing you load onto the truck.
Yeah, per what?
Or trailer, whatever.
So to load one thing of wooden planks is $150. That adds up really quick, so you're going to go through...
It adds up very fast.
Yeah, you'll go through your money really quick, so don't spend your money loading, spend your money on the crane.
Yeah.
And
then, speaking of that little crane, I said this before in one of my videos, a while ago, but you can use that little crane for a lot.
Well, yeah, you can pick up those oversized cargo containers with that mini crane.
You gotta be careful doing it, is the only thing, because you can flip over really easy with that little crane, but if you're loading onto another truck, it's fine.
Yeah, you do have to be careful, but I mean, you have to be careful with everything you do in this game.
Especially in hard mode now, because everything costs money now.
Everything costs money. You have to conserve your fuel. You don't want to damage your trucks, because you don't want to pay for repair parts. You don't want to pay to load.
Oh, no.
You don't want to... You can't recover back to the drive. I mean, you can, but you can't afford to. You can't afford to pay for anything. So, you have to... In hard mode, you have to take your time. Plan out what you're going to do ahead of time. Conserve your fuel. Don't damage your trucks. Don't flip your trucks over. Don't...
Try not to flip your trucks over, because you probably will.
Well, yeah. You will eventually, but yeah, those are your goals. Yeah, those are your goals.
Drive a lot slower than you probably would normally, because the game can damage you for driving over a rock.
Well, yeah,
for a lot more than you should. But yeah,
you can be going straight down the road, and just randomly it'll damage your truck. You don't even do anything.
10 damage to your suspension, 5 damage to your tires. It's like, really?
Well, yeah, that's frustrating. That's very frustrating.
I wish they had an actual manual transmission in the game, so we could, or just like look like an auto transmission, like how are in real semi trucks. How you can set it to only go up to third gear, first gear, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be very nice.
It would be. I mean, you know, with the well, for the scout trucks they call it the Snow Runner. The
Snow Runner transmission
the
for
trucks,
the
they call it the off road, which I mean you do have the manual low gears for that, but yeah, it would be nice to have the manual transmission
in real life. Yeah, man.
You know, like if you had a 5-speed transmission that, like you said, you could put it in third gear and just stay there. That would be nice.
That'd be so nice.
That would be a steady speed and.
You'd burn less fuel, too.
True. Yeah.
Well, I think the game's a little different, because I think the game just doesn't care for speed things. I think it's more of what you're hauling.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, how the game works is a little different. I'm fairly certain it works a little different, but when you're in the higher gears, you burn just about as much as you do in the lower gears for the most part. I think I've noticed that, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, your fuel consumption goes up as your speed goes up.
Yeah.
As your speed goes up, the fuel consumption goes up, and when you get stuck in the mud and you start spinning tires, your fuel goes crazy. Speaking of fuel, let's touch on fuel a little bit.
Oh yeah, fuel is the most important thing in this.
It is the most important thing.
It should be your highest priority.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, fuel is life. What annoys me about the fuel in this game? The Chevy pickup truck has a realistic amount of fuel.
It's pretty close.
80 liters. If you convert that into gallons, it's 25 gallons, roughly, something like that. Somewhere around 25.
That's pretty realistic.
And that's actually realistic for the pickup truck. Now, if you go to, let's use
the semi trucks.
Yeah, let's talk about
any of them.
Let's talk about the GMC 9500. That's my favorite truck in the game.
That is his favorite, but
it has
you go ahead, say it.
Yeah, the fuel capacity on that truck is 240 liters. Now, if you convert that into gallons, it's about 60 gallons of fuel, which is pure crap. Okay, that truck would have
like 300 gallons ish.
240 gallons. Okay, they put it at 240 liters. Would actually have 240 gallons. So they give us about the developers of the game only allow us 1/4 of the fuel that truck actually carries in real life.
Yeah, all the trucks do that too.
They all do. Now, also, the fuel consumption is about 60 times higher than an actual truck. So you have,
that is very. Yeah.
So you
So
you have an unrealistic amount of fuel to begin with, plus
it's too little.
Yeah, plus the fuel economy is off the charts astronomically. You know,
yeah.
The fuel economy is terrible in these. So fuel is a huge issue in these things for me. Driving
you burn too much. You don't carry enough.
Yeah.
And something like the A&K should have more than 200 liters of fuel. It really should.
Well, yeah, 200 liters of fuel transfer. You know, if you convert that to gallons, it's less than 50 gallons of fuel, and that that truck actually has 200 gallon fuel capacity. Real life capacity is 200, just like the real life capacity of the truck is 240 gallons, not 240 liters, and all of the trucks are like that.
Now, what was that? I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead. I forgot what I was gonna say.
The Scout trucks now, the the Chevy 1500, the Scout 800, the fuel capacity on those is realistic.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Yeah, the capacity is realistic, but again,
how much you use isn't.
Yeah, the economy is off the charts. It uses 50, 60 times more fuel than an actual
Yeah, speaking of that, with the V8 for the Chevy, I never use a V8 for the Chevy. I never do. I think with the power you get for it, but with the fuel cost for it, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, that and also the damage. It takes so much more damage when you have that higher powered engine in there. So
because you're going to end up going faster in it because you have more acceleration with it now.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, with the Chevy, even the Scout,
yeah,
sticking with the stock engines now in hard mode is actually a good thing with all the trucks.
And a lot of the trucks, you can get very far with just stock engines. Like, the Fleet Star's pretty good with its stock engine. The Western Star's really good with the... White Western Star, I gotta say that. White Western Star's very good with the stock engine. The GMC's very good with the stock engine. The Kodiak's pretty good, too.
Yeah, okay, let's go back to GMC. That's my favorite truck.
GMC.
I've never...
Well, yeah, it's your favorite truck.
GMC's my favorite truck.
Uh-huh.
When you find it at the trailer park, it already has the most powerful engine in it available.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, it gets good fuel economy. It doesn't take a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The GMC is probably the most underrated truck in the game.
It's probably one of the very good trucks that's actually underrated.
It is. It's an excellent truck. I started the new save game here a few days ago using the GMC. I have the stock highway tires. I'm like level 7 right now. I have not upgraded the tires. I've not upgraded the engine. Well, the engine's
the engine's the Westline already, so...
Yeah, I have not upgraded the transmission. I did put the diff lock on it, because that's a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I also put the race suspension on it, but I still have the original small highway tires on it that came up. I use that truck...
A lot?
Well, yeah, I use it a lot. But one of the contracts is to go to the log station and haul three loads of long logs to the lumber mill.
Now that is timber for the locals for the people.
Yeah, the timber.
People.
I didn't remember that. Timber for the locals. I hauled those 3 loads of long logs, stock highway tires, standard engine, standard transmission. The only upgrades I did to it was put on the diff lock and the race suspension.
Mm-hmm. And obviously the long log carrier, but that should kind of be... that should kind of be assumed. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have that for long logs. That truck hauled those 3 loads of logs all the way to the lumber mill. Did not have to get rescued once, but had to winch a little bit here and there. I didn't need to use another truck to rescue it. Didn't flip over. It did 0 damage to it.
Mm-hmm.
That truck is so underrated. People need to use that truck a lot more.
Yeah. Now, the difference between some of the things that I play and how you play, I will actually sell some of the trucks if only if I know I'm not going to use them. Now, a quick thing like the 2 Scout trucks, the Chevy and the Scout 800. I personally like the Scout 800 more, but the Chevy is a lot better, so I will actually generally sell the Scout 800. That's just a personal thing I will do. He doesn't do that because he likes to keep them as backup trucks, but that's perfectly fine too.
Yeah, the one good thing about the Scout 800 truck, and this is where I will spend a little bit of money, I will buy the roof rack for the Scout 800.
Because you can get the repair points and the fuel on it immediately.
Well, yeah, I at level 1, you can actually put that on it. Actually, I don't use those. The repair points on there are absolute emergency use only because you have to pay to replace those. You want to use You want to use the maintenance trailers around the map, but the fuel is on that. That's why I get it. I'll put.
Yeah.
Now, when in hard mode, when you buy that roof rack, it does not come with fuel on it. You have to fuel it.
Yeah.
And you have to pay for fuel, but But you go to in Michigan, all 4 maps, there's fuel trailers scattered about. So you really don't have to pay for fuel. You just need to get to one of those fuel trailers. So I'll get the roof rack on the Scout 800, take it to one of the fuel tanker trailers, fill it up. Now, if I do run out of fuel doing a contract, I can just take the Scout truck to the truck is out of fuel.
And fill it just enough.
Yeah, put some fuel in it so I can get that truck to the fuel tanker. And then, so that's why I keep the Scout. I don't keep the Scout 800. I keep it for that purpose. And also, when you are out scouting, it's nice to have 2 trucks. I run
2 trucks teaming it, basically.
Yeah, I run the trucks in tandem. For scouting purposes, I prefer the Chevy pickup truck. So I'll just tow the Scout behind it. It's got 140 liters of fuel in the roof rack, plus the 72 in it. If I, by chance, flip the Chevy pickup truck over, I can use the Scout 800 as my rescue truck to flip it back over. There's the thing, too. In hard mode, you cannot...
Recovering costs a lot to...
No, that's not...
It costs a lot to recover.
It does. My point is, you cannot afford to buy the autonomous winch.
I'd say you... Personally, I would say you could, but... That's a personal thing, but yeah.
You need to save your money more with less.
Yeah.
When you leave the garage in the very beginning, you have 8,000 whatever. The autonomous winch costs $9,400. You can't.
It doesn't cost a lot.
You can't afford to buy the autonomous winch, so that's why I don't equip the autonomous winch. I just leave the standard winch on the trucks. I keep both the Chevy pickup and the Scout 800. Run them in tandem. Where when I go to a location like say King of the Hill, that's one of the things you need to stay
the one up those 2 hills. Yeah. That's a fairly good one to do early on, too, since it's just require your Scouts.
Well, yeah,
and
it is.
You can do it with highway tires fairly simply, if you like how you do it.
You can, and part of the reason you want to do that quick is you go up to the camp where you activate it, you're already at the entrance to one of the hills. So you don't want to leave there and then go back to it later because you're going to use more fuel. So you're already there. Drive up to the top of the hill and at least get the one. And the other one is on a different hill. You have to drive back down the hill very carefully, of course, because you don't want to flip the truck over.
For driving down the hill, we both suggest is put it into low gear and keep it there.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in low gear. That'll keep you from going too fast. So go back down to the camp. Drive over to the entrance to the other hill. Go up that hill. That gets you early on. That gets you more XP.
Some money, some XP, very early on.
Yeah, it gets you XP. It gets you money, and then you never ever have to drive up that hill ever again.
And like how he does it with the 2 Scouts, he can have a little bit of fuel in the Scout 800 with it on that roof rack, and he can just have it at the base of both the places to start of it, and that way, how he does it, you can drive it back down, refuel right there, and drive it to the other one right there. You can do that easily.
Yeah, exactly. You call it having a checkpoint, or
exactly. Yeah, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, so you leave your rescue vehicle at the bottom of the hill. It's got if you do need to rescue, you can drive it up the hill. Hopefully, you don't hit the truck you need to. But once you get back down the hill, you can refuel with the fuel that's on the roof rack, and that's specific. That's why I keep that Scout 800. I do not sell it.
It comes in a lot of handy. I know why he does it. I trust myself with my skills, but it is good to have a backup, because always be prepared is a very good thing to live by.
Oh yeah, I trust my skills as well too, but if you run out of fuel, You're stuck there. Yeah, so you don't take the chance play.
Yeah.
You know, be extremely conservative in playing. Keep your rescue vehicle close by.
Yeah, I play a little bit more loosely, if you can't tell. He plays a lot more conservatively. I play a bit more loosely because I'm like, I'll be fine.
I'm older and have more experience, so.
Well, I know how to do it. I could do it that way. I choose to not.
Yep. Well, yeah, we have different playing styles. We do, so.
Now, he speaks about his favorite truck, the GMC. Mine's the White Western Star. Just to get that out of the way. But yeah. Now the White Western.
Go ahead.
Okay.
The
White Western Star is in a. I'll just stop.
Okay.
We're not used to this yet. Give us a little bit of a break. We're not used to this yet. I personally love the White Western Star. It is my favorite truck. I love it because it has 300 liters of fuel. It doesn't burn a lot of fuel. It's all-wheel drive. It's a fair. Getting it's a little bit difficult, not too difficult though, when you know what you're doing. And you can get it very early on, and you can use it through pretty much the entire game. And I have used it through pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, I agree. The White Western Star is an extremely versatile truck. It's a durable truck. Anything you ask that truck to do, it will do.
Pretty much, yeah.
It'll haul. You can put the high saddle on it, and it'll haul those big construction trailers. You can put a flatbed on it and haul any of the cargoes, the wooden planks, or the service spare parts, metal beams,
concrete,
and
all that. Yeah,
it will haul anything. Whatever you ask that White Western Star to do, it will do. It'll do it slow,
but it'll do it.
But it will do anything in the game.
It's basically the best truck for being the middle of the best road truck.
Yeah,
that's the. Go ahead.
It's actually it's pretty easy truck to get. I know people think it's difficult. It's really not. I actually got it with the Fleet Star with highway tires on it. It
depends which way you go, mostly too.
I went the hard way, the short.
Yeah,
I went the short way.
But
once you get that truck, you can do anything with it. It's just you're going to do it slowly.
And you don't actually really need to get the diff locked for quite a while. You can do a lot with just the all-wheel drive in that truck.
Oh, yeah, you definitely, for sure. The White Western Star, I typically put the heavy crane on it and use it as my heavy crane truck, but that truck does everything in the game. And you can use it. Okay, you get it in Smithville, which is the second map in the game. You can use.
You get the all-wheel drive and lift kit there too.
Yeah,
which you're gonna need.
Yeah, you do. You get those upgrades. You can use that truck through the rest of the game. You can finish the game with that truck.
That truck is also amazing in Alaska for chain tires. That truck is just very, very damn good in Alaska. For some reason, it just feels right there and very good there.
I agree. It is excellent there. It's a lot more controllable than some of the other trucks. It's not quirky. The Fleet Star is quirky. It's quirky. You have trouble controlling it, but the White Western Star, it's the perfect truck.
It's solid. Is the best way to describe it. It's solid.
It is, yes.
It's decently. It's not too tall, so you don't flip over a lot. It's long, so you have plenty of room to turn with any saddle on the truck.
Yep.
The only problem is it kind of digs in the ground a bit when you have the little crane on it, which you don't really do a lot, but I do a little bit, for hard mode at least. I put the little crane on it, on the White Western Star for a little bit, and some of the recovery missions, too. That's just a kind of thing. I do that a little bit. I don't do it a lot.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. That is an excellent truck. It really is.
With the Fleet Star, those two trucks working together are really damn good, and you can do that very early on.
True, yeah. Well, yeah, getting the Western Star, I'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
In the game, you have that service trailer right next to the garage that's used to repair the Fleet
In the
Star.
first map.
Yeah, in Black River. You can tow that one to Smithville Dam, and you can actually tow it down the hill to repair the White Western Star. There's the other in Smithville Dam. Along
that one that's by that house that you generally used to go fix at GMC.
Yeah. So you got that option. You can use either one.
I did the one with the GMC. That was by the GMC. Did you do that?
No, actually, I had trouble getting that one. So
Okay.
I towed the one all the way from Black River into Smithville Dam, and I actually towed it down the hill.
Okay.
And, by the time I got there, it pretty much ran out of repair points.
Yeah.
It was pretty empty by then, but it allowed me to repair the truck enough. And I used the Fleet Star with highway tires, and I towed it up that hill.
Difficult hill? The windy hill?
Yeah, where you go between the two big boulders.
Mm-hmm.
Where you always get stuck right there between the boulder. I got it up the hill with the Fleet Star, and I was at level 5 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So at level 5, you still only get the highway tires anyway. You don't get the...
When you get level 6, you get all-terrain tires.
Yeah, exactly. So I did it at level 5 with highway tires, and I got it right up there. Had to do a little creative winching, but once I got it through those two big boulders, it went straight up the hill with no problem.
Now, this is something really quick for both of us. Like how we said, we're both pretty off-road experienced. We very much know how to creatively winch. That is something we both know how to do.
Yeah,
in real life.
Well, yeah, in real life, we had a winch on that truck too. We winched it sideways and backwards, and we had a lot of real life experience with winches, so it kind of translates over into the game.
I bet it does, at least.
Yeah. It's nice in the game that you have the various winch points on the truck. You can hook it to a couple spots on the front of the truck. You can hook it on either side of the truck. You can hook it on the back of the frame of the truck. So yeah, that is a
very nice thing.
Yeah, that's a very nice feature of the game that you do have the option of different
in real life, you could put winches there. You'd have a lot of winches.
Well, yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah. Well, you can use shackles.
Yeah. Well, how we do it in real life is those little tow hooks. Yep. We just attach them to a certain part of the frame, a certain part of the front of the truck, something like that. You run the winch itself, wire through something else that's sturdy, and you know it's not going to break, and then just use it that way.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, the winch on our old truck was literally on the back of the truck.
Yes, it was.
So, we got very creative.
Yeah, Well, we used the winch mounted between the frame rails underneath the truck to load.
Pull it forward.
To pull it forward. We used that winch underneath the truck to load. We actually loaded hay bales on the truck using the winch underneath the truck. We've
done it with that, but we've also done it with a tow truck, which is even more entertaining.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, yeah, we used to have a tow truck, but
it was a lot easier doing it with the tow truck than doing it with the winch.
Yeah, that was. Well, the tow truck. The easiest way to do it was with the backhoe.
Oh, yeah, the backhoe was nice. Just whoop, drop it on. Ta-da!
Yep.
We've lived a very interesting lives. We know how to do a lot of interesting things.
Well, yeah, when you live on a farm,
you get very creative.
You do. Yeah, you do. Well,
you have to get very creative.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was that? Speaking of the White Western Star, how I get it, since he saw it how he gets it, I get it going, there's that really big hill going up that long way. It's straight, I go up that way, and I pulled it with the Fleet Star. I was at level 6 with all-terrain tires. The only difference is I used that service trailer where you right by that house where you get that one contract or task to get those cement bags and the one that's right next to that GMC.
The lost bags contract?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Yeah.
I do right next to that one.
Yeah.
That I didn't have too much trouble doing it. I pulled it up that big hill, then I went through that swamp area and went to quarry. The only thing I actually had repaired on that truck because I didn't want to spend all the points, and eventually I repaired it when I got it back to the garage or near the garage. But I didn't fix the suspension on that truck. I fixed everything but the suspension. And you can pull it all the way with no suspension. As long as you have the tires, the engine, and the fuel, and that transmission in the middle of it, you're fine. You can pull that thing pretty much anywhere.
Actually, I think that's the same. I don't think I had suspension fixed on it either because I didn't have enough repair points left on that trailer to repair that. After repairing the Fleet Star, and I don't remember if I repaired anything else or I don't remember.
It's been a bit, but who cares? It's
yeah. We got it repaired.
We got it. That's the important part. We just did it in different ways.
Yeah, really, the point is that we both got it. We both got it early in the game.
Exactly.
I got it at level 5 with highway tires. You got it at level 6 with the all-terrain tires. Yeah, you don't have to wait until later in the game. You can get that early. You can get it really early.
My original all-terrain tires thing, my second episode, I got the White Western Star at level 2.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
It's doable. You just have to plan ahead, put in a little...
Patience and stubbornness are your two best friends.
Yeah, that's true, too.
That's that whole game in a nutshell. Patience and stubbornness are probably your two best friends.
Yep. Yeah, you can...
And then planning.
Planning. Do more with less. Do more with
exactly.
less. That's the key. Do more with less in this whole game. Do more with less.
Now, another truck we both like is the F750. Neither one of us have gotten it yet, but we really don't like to really move through routine maps. Actually, let's talk about something else. Moving between maps, this involves the Chevy Kodiak. The Chevy Kodiak, you can get very early on, and with highway tires, again, with the Fleet Star. You just have to pull it out of that muddy guck pit that's there.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do. You just have to know, again, how to winch, your winch lengths, and good spots to drive on.
Yeah, true.
It's very simple.
It is very easy to get. You drive. I have... funny with that, I actually took it. Again, I didn't have enough repair points to repair
points that just drove it back when it was like on the ground, scraping the ground.
Yeah, I had 2 flat tires on it. Yeah, I put I had enough tires left on the service trailer. It fixed the front tires, but it didn't fix the drive. So I drove it with 2 flat tires on it, and I had no problem whatsoever just driving around like that.
You can go pretty far with flat tires in that game, and it's very funny. Yeah.
Speaking of the Kodiak, I put the log crane on it and just parked it at the log station.
We both did that, actually, because I'm pretty sure I think you got that idea from me, actually, because I said to do that.
Yeah, I did, because actually, when I first got the log crane, I put it on the White Western Star, but then I got after talking to you, it made more sense to put it on the Kodiak.
Because you're not going to use the Kodiak a lot?
You're not using the Kodiak a lot, and that frees up the White Western Star to actually, accomplish things, but...
Well, that's how we do it, but if you're somebody who likes the Kodiak more than the White Western Star, you can do it the opposite way, too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the White Western Star is a much more capable, much more versatile truck than the Kodiak.
The Kodiak isn't as versatile because it's a single axle back, it'd be just a single axle, right?
Well, yeah, the Kodiak is a single axle, the White Western Star is a tandem axle, the Fleet Star is a tandem axle.
There we go, I couldn't think of the word for it.
Yeah, they're tandem axles.
I couldn't think of the word for it, but yeah.
So they can handle a lot more weight. And also...
Except for the Fleet Star, because it puts the saddle way too freaking high up on it, and it's annoying.
Speaking of that, the Fleet Star is not a good truck for either of the saddle.
it doesn't turn is the biggest problem with it.
Yeah,
It lifts the truck up too much, and you just can't turn.
well, it has. If you look,
And it bumps against it.
yeah. If you look at the frames and the axles on there, the axles on the Fleet Star are forward, and there's a lot of overhang with the frame. Where on the White Western Star, the drive axles are all the way to the rear of the frame. So yeah, the White Western Star is an excellent truck to put a saddle on.
It's gonna end up becoming your best fifth wheel plate truck or saddle, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
It's gonna become the best off-road version of that.
Yeah, it is. And the GMC is the same. It's designed to be a semi truck, so it takes the saddle really well. The fifth wheel. We're Americans. We call them fifth wheels. The rest of the world calls it a saddle.
Yeah. That's our problem. Sorry about it.
Yeah. So yeah, either the low or this high saddle goes good on the GMC. Goes good on the White Western Star.
White Western Star. Yeah.
Doesn't work good. Okay. Speaking about that, doesn't work real on the Fleet Star. If we go back about a half an hour when we were talking earlier, reconfiguring the GMC.
Let's go to that since we're pretty much talking about upgrades anyway.
Yeah. So once you do get to the GMC with the Fleet Star, one of the things we need to do is repair the wooden bridge. So
real quick though, this is something I just do. I do it differently. I go get the GMC and then get the Fleet Star repaired. That's just what I do, because with that, I will pull that fuel trailer to the garage. That's just what I do, real quick.
Okay,
that's
great.
I just do it a little differently.
Yeah, you do it. What I do is I'll take the Fleet Star, get the GMC, and now I have an all-wheel drive truck, because the all-wheel drive is right there for the Fleet Star.
It's right next to it, yeah.
I will take the GMC, go to the lumber mill, and get that trailer with the wooden planks on it. And so we need to get to the garage to reconfigure. We're
in the garage. Let's configure.
Well, no, let's don't get there yet. Let's get the wooden planks. Okay. We're going to go over. There's the other upgrade for the Fleet Star. Is that the race suspension?
It's race suspension. That's by the oil rig.
Yeah, it's by the oil rig.
It's race suspension.
Going back to what we were talking about, let's do a whole bunch of stuff in one trip. Now we're going to go.
Exactly.
We'll use the Fleet Star, tow the GMC. We'll get the race suspension for the Fleet Star. We're right at the bridge. We'll repair the bridge, and from there, then we'll go back to the garage and reconfigure.
Now, for suspensions, you can sell the stock suspension. You're not going to use the other suspension ever again. You're not going to. That lower suspension, you're not going to use it ever again. You can sell it.
You can, yeah, that's true. Once you get the race suspension for your truck, if you need money, you can sell the stock suspension. You don't have to, but you can. Or you can.
I would say just automatically do it, because you're really never going to use it again.
Yeah, you're not. Once you get the race suspension on the truck, chances are you're not going to use the stock suspension again.
Since we're at the garage, both of us will configure these trucks a little differently. Not super differently, but a little differently. But you can go ahead and say what you do first, and I'll go ahead and say what I do.
Alright, so we've already discussed the Fleet Star is useless as a semi-truck. You can't put the saddle on it because it doesn't work. So I remove the sideboard bed from the GMC and mount it on the Fleet Star.
We both do that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something we both do.
And then that's all we need to do with the Fleet Star. Put the sideboard bed on it, and that is our flatbed truck at that point. Take that out.
Flatbed, sideboard truck, whatever it is. Same thing.
Yeah, it's your 2-slot sideboard bed, and it didn't cost you anything to do that.
Exactly.
You don't want to spend money because you can't. So, okay, now your Fleet Star's good. You got the race suspension, so you can put that on there. You've already got the all-wheel drive. You haven't got any engines yet, so we don't change anything there.
You don't really.
If you can put the snorkel on it at that time if you want to. You don't really need to. because in Black River and there you don't really need a snorkel. So
you will need it when you get into certain areas in Smithville, but that's it.
But yeah,
there are certain areas you're going to need it. And actually, you are going to need getting that Kodiak out of that gunk mud that's up for that you take to the farm. That Kodiak, you're going to need to do that too.
Yeah, so that's option. You can get it. You don't have to get it if you want to. Now, going back to the GMC, the way I configure it, I'll put the low saddle on the GMC because it's a highway truck. It is designed to be a semi-truck. So you put the saddle...
Exactly. It's supposed to have a saddle fifth wheel plate on it.
Yeah, you put that on the GMC. And then I put the mini crane on the GMC. At that point, you have enough money to buy the mini crane. You need a mini crane.
Mm-hmm.
You need a crane to load freight so you're not paying to load.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the low saddle and the mini crane on the GMC, and I put the sideboard bed on the Fleet Star, and that's how I configure those trucks.
About the only difference between me and him is a few different things. One, when I get to level 6, I put I put all-terrain tires on, and I wait till I get chains, which is level 12 or 14.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do differently. That's just you wait till you get the off-road tires, right?
Yeah, I just like the way they look.
Yeah.
But I mean, the off-road tires are much better than the all-terrain tires. And
yeah, you can get very far with just the highway tires.
You can get extremely far with just highway tires. You just have to. And
the other thing I changed is different from him is I actually put the crane on the Fleet Star. Because the Fleet Star can haul, with the crane and that flatbed, it can haul another trailer, another panel hook trailer.
Yes, you can do that.
That's the only difference.
The reason I don't put it on the Fleet Star is because that thing is setting still in the parking lot, that thing flips over, which many cranes It's a bit of exaggeration, but yeah, that crane makes it tippy as can be. So I'll put it on.
You've had more problems with it than I have, but that's, again, just a personal thing, and we drive... this is another thing. We both drive differently, too, but that's just because we're different people.
Well, yeah, exactly. We're different. We see things differently.
We drive slightly differently, for the most part.
Everybody does everything differently. So.
Yeah.
In the end,
we're almost an hour long.
Yeah, we are. In the end, it's about getting things done.
Exactly.
You know, there's different ways of doing things. We do things slightly different. We do things pretty similar, but slightly different. And as long as you accomplish the task at hand, as long as you complete the contract to get your money, that's you know, you can do it a little slightly differently.
Now, this is something I was going to talk about with the F-750. Neither one of us have gotten it yet. It is the best service truck in the game. Oh, we both agree on this.
Oh, most definitely. It'll. You can
fuel and repair points. That's his two biggest reasons.
That and it goes pretty much everywhere too.
And surprisingly, the F-750 is surprisingly good with medium logs. It is hilariously good with medium logs.
Well, yeah, any of the trailers that you tow it does excellent with. Even the Ramps trailer that holds four
it's a good tow truck.
It actually
it's a good tow truck.
You fully load that trailer and it goes. It's like the White Western Star. It's not fast,
but it's versatile with what it can do.
It's versatile. Yeah, exactly.
Neither one of us have gotten it yet, but that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because we don't. Now, this is something I was going to say with the Kodiak. I went and got the all-wheel drive for the Kodiak, and that was it.
Yeah.
He did not, but I'm planning on using the Kodiak a little bit more after I do the logging, and I'm planning on using it in Michigan. I don't know if he is, but I am.
I'm going to complete Michigan 100% before I spend the money
to go anywhere.
To go anywhere else, because that's why I'm not going up. Very conservative in that. I don't need the all-wheel drive for the Kodiak, so I'm going to stay in Michigan. I'm not going to travel to the other areas and spend money to travel there and then spend money to travel back.
Yeah, I also say you really shouldn't do that. I only went and got the Kodiak's all-wheel drive because I thought, okay, this was more towards the beginning of it, and I thought, okay, I need another all-wheel drive truck. I should go get the Kodiak's. That was my thought process at the time.
Well,
I now pretty much use the Fleet Star all the damn time now.
well, yeah, you went and got the all-wheel drive for the Kodiak. I went and got the White Western Star.
Yeah. Well, you did it earlier than I did. I thought I was going to use the Kodiak more. I'm seeing now I'm not going to. But that's just experience of us playing the game.
Yep, exactly.
Now, we're about an hour in, and we're going to call it here because neither one of us wants to go more than an hour, and I have to edit this together.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So, go subscribe to my father's channel. It is Pink Shirt Guy. Go subscribe to his channel. It's a picture of him with a pink shirt on.
Exactly, and I don't have anything.
He's going to do videos eventually.
Yeah, I don't have anything loaded on it yet. I'm going to post videos. I'm going to start a new hard mode game and start posting videos on YouTube. So. Pink.
I will have a link in my channel for his channel, so do not worry. That'll be in the description. And subscribe to my channel, too, if you enjoyed it here, too.
Yes, please do. Subscribe. Hit the like.
Subscribe, like it, share, all that stuff, and I'll play the end card, which says all the stuff anyway.
Yep, and ring the bell so when we do post new things, you'll get notifications.
Exactly. So, I hope you people enjoyed, the people who will listen. We're probably going to start doing a podcast every now and then. We don't know when we're going to do it all the time, but we have a lot of things to talk about. So, hope you enjoyed, and bye.
Adios. Bye.